Welcome back to the channel. TEAS 7 Science Practice Question. In this video, I'm going to tackle some key 10 questions regarding the TEAS exams. This is video number 4. It's a series. These questions are very, very difficult in order to challenge you so that when you go take the test, it's easy. There's a lot of select or apply. You have to pay attention to them. You may get them. Sometimes you get a lot of select or apply. So watch for this video. I want you to watch this and see content related to select or apply. Stick around and let's learn something. First question. What do you think? This is testing your knowledge on the skin, right? And it's straightforward. Which of the following best describes what the primary function of the epidermis? The skin has different layers. It has the epidermis. It has dermis here, right? And as you go deeper, you go into the bone and the rest of it. Each of the layer has its own function, right? What does the epidermis do? Is epi, outside, the most outermost part of the skin. It stores fat for insulation and energy. No, this is the hypodermis. Hypodermis usually stores fat and insulation. Produces melanin and provide protection barrier. You can see it's the outside. Anything that is outside your body is always a protective layer and protecting things within inside. So this is the right answer. Houses blood vessels and nerve endings. The dermis is where if you get a cut, if you get to your dermis, you're going to bleed. Not every cut on your skin bleed because they never get to the dermis. When you get to the dermis, you have a feeling and you have bleeding. So that's blood vessels and nerve endings. Contain glands that regulate body temperature. Regulation of body temperature is within the dermis. So these are contents related to the layer of the skin and the individual function. So number 2 is the right answer. Which of the following are examples of active transport in cells? For this particular question, you can see there's a buzzword there. Active transport. That means you have to use energy. Then ask yourself, which activity over here, process that you need energy? In diffusion, you don't need energy. You're spraying your perfume. All the gas, they are under pressure and they move from high pressure to low pressure. In endocytosis, endo is in. The cells are trying to engulf, swallow particles in the form of vesicle. They have to use energy. The pump on this tells you there have to be energy. Sodium, potassium pump. That means you're pushing potassium and sodium against their concentration gradient. We have to use energy. Osmosis is the same. Diffusion is similar to diffusion, but you have the concentration moving. There's one area where there's high concentration of solute and one area high concentration of solvent, water. So the movement of water in order to equilibrate those concentrations does not require energy. Exocytosis is the cells trying to get rid of chemicals. You need to use energy to remove them out of the body. So endocytosis, sodium potassium pump, and exocytosis are all energy process. That's what the question is asking you. So those are active transport. Select or apply, same thing. Which of the following are functions of the skeletal system? It requires some content. If you watch my comprehensive review, I talk about the skeletal system. What did they do? You have the bone and there is a marrow. The marrow produces blood vessels, blood cells, right? And within the bone itself, you have minerals like calcium. The bone cannot transmit impulses. Impulses are transmitted by the nerves. It supports the body. Think about it. Every question, look at it, see if it makes sense. Bone support the body, so this makes sense. Bone is not a digestive organ, so it cannot digest nutrient. So 4, 2, and 1 are your right answer. You see how you can answer these select or apply. Yes, straightforward. You have to look at the system and analyze it based on the content, right? Which of the following bones are part of the appendicular skeleton? So if this is you, Anything in the center is called axial system. Anything outside is called appendicular. The other thing you will do, anything that helps you to move is appendicular. Things that does not help you to move is axial, like your head. They are in central portion, right? And then your vertebrae, right? Those are all your rib cage. They are all in the central portion. They are not involved in the actual limb movement. Your tibia is part of your leg. It will let you move. Your phalanges is part of your fingers. It will let you move. The vertebra is in the center. Even though you can bend, it does not help with movement. Your rib cage does not help with movement. Humerus is the bone and the upper arm help with movement. So tibia, phalanges, and humerus are appendicular system, while vertebral column and rib cage are axial system. You see how you can master them easily. During inspiration, the diaphragm do what? These are questions when you see it and you confuse because they give you relax, contract, relax, up, down. Forget about it. Do the same thing. Inspiration means you're taking air and see what your diaphragm will do. Your diaphragm is the big muscle here, like that. Usually it's like this. When you're trying to breathe, in order to open the lung, the diaphragm contract down, right? And expand the lung. It contracts and it goes down. So contraction and downwards. This is your right answer. In which structure does the B12 absorb? B12 is a very important mineral that we need involved with the balancing and other things. Therefore, you have to know the portion of the GI tract that is absorbed. If this is your esophagus, this is your stomach. You have a duodenum here, your jejunum, and then you have ileum. So this is the duo, and this is the jejunum, and this is the ileum before you get into the colon. This is the last portion we absorb our content, and B12 usually absorb at the ileum. This is the content you have to know. These are facts you have to know. There's no argue about it. Which are the functions of the integumentary system? This is very important that you master the verbiage. Instead of me saying skin, I use the word integumentary system. Expect them to use that. It's just the skin layer. What does the skin do? It protects you. What does the skin do? You have sensory reception. You can feel it. What does the skin do? Thermoregulation. The skin is not primary hormone secretion. So 1, 2, and 4 are your 1, 2, 4 are your right answer. You see, this is a selected apply. Which gland control metabolism by releasing thyroxine? Thyroxine is the thyroid hormone. Therefore, based on that, I'm going to pick number 3 because that's where it has to come from. So thyroid hormone, thyroid gland. Which of the following gland is responsible for producing oil that keep the skin and hair moisturized? That means something that is coming from the skin, right? The sweat gland does not keep the skin moisturized, right? It basically heat that comes out, help warm the skin as it evaporate, cool it down. Adrenal glands secrete hormones for fight and flight. Pituitary gland is a major master organ. Therefore, sebaceous gland is the one that secretes oily, not sweat. It gives us oily secretion to moisturize the skin. In which structure does fertilization occur? Remember, fertilization occur, not produce. The ovary produce the egg. It goes into the fallopian tube. Within the fallopian tube, fertilization occur. And there you go into the uterus. And from the uterus, if you have to deliver, it has to go through the cervix. So that's the pathway I've given you. This is the uterus, okay, with the fallopian tube coming like that. And the ovaries, he has finger-like projection, and the ovary sits here like that. The ovary sits here like that. And then your cervix is here. and then go to your vagina. So the eggs get produced as you go in here, the sperm come down here, infuses here, and then they come down. If they stay in the tube, it's called ectopic pregnancy. Therefore, fallopian tube is your right answer. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, share it with your friends who need help with the TEAS, anatomy, physiology, and biology. And click the like button or put a comment and let us know. Take care of yourself and subscribe to Adapt Class for more content like that. Bye.